don't do it because it will just go further and further into your future. And you are teaching your brain that this is an acceptable reality for us, even though your future self doesn't want it. But your subconscious mind has been trained to think, we are okay with this. This is acceptable level of quality of life. And that's a dangerous game. Hi guys, I just was like, I need to film like a YouTube intro, right? I feel like every YouTube video I see has intros, but I don't know, like these feel so cheesy. Like, hi guys, like welcome to my channel. I can't. Just watch the video. I love you. Thank you. So Michelle Obama, I think, said this in an interview where she said, every day you are practicing who you are going to become when you're older. So if you think, oh, I can date these people or I can be friends with these people, even though I know my future self isn't going to be, my future self is going to be very particular about what kind of friends she has. That's what your future self is going to do, but your present self isn't doing that because you're saying, oh, she'll handle it. My future self will take care of me. I know she's got me. Your future self is looking back at you and saying, hey, we're counting on you today to do the right things so we can get to this point. So if you think it's okay for you to engage in habits, in friendships and relationships that you don't want in the future, all you're doing is making sure that does become your future, because you are teaching your brain every day, this is the kind of life we live. This is the kind of people that we hang out. This is the kind of people we date. So if you think it's not damaging to your psyche and it's not damaging to your future self to entertain a habit that you don't want later, it absolutely is. And the longer you do it, the longer it's going to take to undo it. And that goes for the people you're dating. If you think, okay, I am just gonna date this kind of person for now until I meet my dream person, but all you're doing in your mind is telling your brain, hey, it's okay for us to act like this. It's okay for us to engage with these kind of people. You're looking at this and thinking green light, green light, green light, and you are just perpetuating that into your future. And you think you're not. You think that you can just say, it'll change later. It'll change later. It has to change today. It has to change today. And here's another thing, not just for yourself, but it's also just bad karma. It's bad karma when you know that you don't have future intentions with someone, you know that you're not interested in elongating that friendship, that relationship, and you're just using them to waste time. Everything always comes back to you. Everything you put, like, it is scary, you guys. The way that I have seen it happen in my life, and friends' life, and family members' life, it is scary how what you put out there comes back to you. The reality that you engage in today, the more you engage with it every single day after day after day, even if you're bored, even if you're lonely, all you're doing is saying to your brain, we're okay with this life. This is an acceptable version of life that we'll allow. And as soon as you teach your brain, as soon as you lower the bar because of boredom, because of loneliness, because of lack of intimacy, as soon as you lower the bar and say, I know this isn't my ideal, but I'll still allow it to come into your life, you are teaching your brain that this is okay. You are teaching your brain that we accept this into our lives. And it's a really, really dangerous path to go on because it will continue to repeat itself. And you can't undo it, but the longer you entertain things you don't want or you don't want in your future, the harder it is to make sure it's not your future, because your brain has been trained in this idea of, okay, we're okay with this kind of people, we're okay with these kind of habits, we're okay eating like this, we're okay exercising like this, we're okay or not exercising like this, we're okay dressing like this. All you're doing is making that even more likely to be who you are in the future. So every day you are waking up and teaching your brain what the future is going to look like every single day. So if you wake up and you engage with people and give them your time, people who you don't really want in the future, that will be your future. That will be your future. And that doesn't click for people because you are putting in habits in your mind. We allow this. This is okay. And as soon as you do that, and then you do it over and over and over again, every single day you engage with these people, with these habits, every single day you engage with it, you're teaching your mind, this is okay. This is okay. And then soon enough, it just becomes your life. You are going to become what you are today. And until that clicks, people don't make changes because people think they can use placeholders and it won't dictate your future. It will dictate your future. Every time you lower the bar out of loneliness, out of desperation, out of boredom, it will affect your future. And now what you have to think is, okay, so I'm just not supposed to date anyone. I'm not supposed to have any friends unless they're exactly what my future self would want. And the answer is yes. And that's really intimidating and really scary for a lot of people because they think, oh my God, if I look around at all my friends and I wouldn't want any of these friends in my future. So does that just mean I have to be alone? I look around at all the people I'm dating and I don't view any of these as marriage potential. They're all great people, but they're just not some people that I really would see a future with. So that means I have to be completely alone and I can't engage with those friends anymore. Then the answer is yes. And the thing is, you can still engage with them, but to the extent that your future self would engage with. Your future self, how often is it talking to your whatever high school friends once or twice a year, right? So if you want to talk to them once or twice a year, right? But if they are your go-to life, that's a dangerous path. Because, and the thing is, the right people will naturally come, okay? Because nature hates a vacuum. Nature hates a vacuum. Nature doesn't like when it looks around at your life and sees that, you aren't dating people, there aren't friends. Like, nature sees this emptiness and wants to fill it, and it will fill it with just about anything unless you are particular. And it's not true. It's not just about anything. It's what you are in harmony with. So your friends are really just a reflection of where you are in your life. So if you want the friends that your future self has, you have to become your future self, and then those future people will come. I'm on level B and I'm trying to get to level A version of myself. How would level A version of myself eat, dress? How would level A version of myself interact with people? How would they carry themselves? How would they spend their days? How many hours would they spend on social media? Like, I am looking at what kind of house does she live in? What kind of car does she drive? What kind of friends does she have? What kind of restaurants does she eat at? All these things. Now, you can't do everything that level A of you is doing, right? You can't automatically have that dream house. You can't automatically have that dream closet or whatever you're looking for. Get as close to that version of yourself as you possibly can. If that means just making sure you take time to put yourself together in the morning, you're meditating, you're exercising, even if you don't have access to a gym, you're doing an exercise in your backyard, you're doing all these things. As close as possible, access the reality that you want. So if that means removing certain people from your life because your future self would never engage with them, do it. And the people, those dream friends, those dream relationships will automatically come into your life. Your level B, as soon as you remove your level B friends and your level B relationships and your level B habits, just work to become level A, the level A friends will come, the level A relationships will come because you've engaged in level A habits, because you can do that now, right? You can wake up early, you can do this, you can do that. As try to be as much level A as you possibly can now, and then all the external components will start to bring themselves together without you having to search for these friends, or without you having to search for that dating life, or without you having to search for that home or figure out and struggle. If you just get on that frequency, get on that version of reality as much as you possibly can, I promise you, with the law of, I don't like to say the law of attraction, I say the law of resonance, with the law of resonance, because now you are resonating at the same level as all of those other things. It will all just come together. It will all just come together. Think about, friends who just go from bad relationship to bad relationship. Think about your friends who they'll go from bad habit to a different bad habit to a different bad habit. It's always not because they're attracting it, but it's because that's what they resonate on. That's the wavelength that they vibrate, and all those things will just keep coming to them unless they say, okay, what are all the changes I can do to be as close as possible to what the prime version of myself is? And the material things will all come. The external things will all come. I promise, I promise, I promise. Just be as close to what your dream life is, and engage in those activities, engage in those habits, engage with those people. And if you come across people who level A you would not engage with, even though you're feeling lonely, even though you're feeling bored, you have to resist and not engage with these people, because it will just become your future. Every time you're like, oh my God, I'm just so bored, like I just need whatever, someone to mess around with. And the thing is, you will be so busy trying to be your level A self that you won't even notice. And for anyone who says, oh, okay, well, what do I do if I'm feeling lonely? Well, most of the time, you're not feeling lonely, you're just feeling bored, and you're not doing enough of the stuff that makes you feel alive. You're not doing enough of the stuff that makes you feel in love and in flow. Okay, I feel like we got really sidetracked. But anyways, stop entertaining things you don't want in your future. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, because it will just become your future, and you are telling your brain it's okay and we will allow this, and you don't want to do that. It's a dangerous game, I'm telling you. Okay, love you.